Hey there, Aubrey. How's everything going today?
I am great, Lindsay. I have a question for you.
Okay.
We are talking about fashion trends today. Have you noticed anything that's coming back around fashion-wise
Yeah.
right now?
Oh, for sure. Specifically, I think about the wide leg jeans. When I see people in
Absolutely.
very wide leg jeans, maybe at the mall or anywhere, I think 1995, 1994, you know? Um,
Totally, right? For a long time we wore skinny jeans or at least straight leg, and now they're like big baggy jeans. Like I
yes.
remember those from high school and now that's what my kids want to wear.
I know. It's so funny. What about you? Have you noticed anything else that's coming
Yeah.
back?
Those for sure, and also Crocs. Did you ever wear Crocs? That's
Never
all
have.
kids wear now. They're like these rubber shoes, plastic. What are Crocs even made of? But
I
and
don't
they're
even
all
know.
with the Croc pins. I'm curious, you
Ah.
guys out there listening, if Crocs are super popular where you live. I feel like that's all teenagers and young kids want to wear right now.
Yeah, and this is something that comes up a lot. It comes up sometimes across generations. Do you
Oh
have
yeah.
that conversation with your kids, like, when your kids are like, "Look at these cool wide leg jeans, they're so new," and then you're like, "They're not new."
Absolutely. I feel like this comes up a ton in conversation with my parents, coworkers, friends, because it's surprising when we see something come back that we expected to be gone forever, right?
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
sometimes there'll be a trend. I'm like, really? I did not expect that to come back. So it's such a fun conversation.
Yeah, personally, I'm holding out for skinny jeans to come back soon because I'm
Same.
not
I
planning
miss
on getting rid
them.
of my skinny jeans. I think we talked about this recently on the show, but I'm a
Mhm.
slow adopter, a
I
laggard,
know
as
I
they
have
say.
switched to like straight leg jeans, but I can't do super
No.
baggy. I don't like the mom jeans look. I would love for
No.
skinny jeans to come back too.
Yeah, I just don't find them very flattering on my body. I'm not very
Yeah,
tall and I just need like tighter fitting clothing.
totally
So
right. It's so tricky. Like I want the trends that are best for my body type. Can we just do
right.
that,
I
please?
know. It's weird. It's weird. So, anyways, this is such a key connection topic, whether it's cross generational with your kids, with your parents, whether it's with your peers, your friends, your coworkers. We can start a conversation very quickly and easily about these
Absolutely.
changing fashion trends. Yeah.
Everyone will have something to say. Everyone's
Mhm.
interested. Everyone's noticed some trend that has come back. So, this is a great way to connect in English. And it's also a great way to share your culture. If you are
Yes.
talking to someone from a different culture, they probably have very different trends that they knew when they were younger. And so, it's fun to find out about your friends' cultures.
Right, because sometimes fashion can be based on history as well. And we're going to get into an interesting example in just a minute.
Yes.
But first, Aubrey, we got to hit that follow button. Why should we hit follow on All Ears English?
Absolutely. If you don't hit follow, you might be missing great episodes. We publish 5 episodes every week. And if you hit follow, they'll drop right into your queue so that you have them and don't miss any of our amazing content.
Yeah, especially because we're in January now and we really want to make sure we set up the right habits. Learning is all about habits. So let us be part of your morning or evening habit. Hit that follow button and we'll bring you 5 episodes a week. All right, pretty good.
Awesome.
Aubrey,
So, yes,
yeah.
we're excited to dive into a really interesting example about a fashion trend coming back, right?
Mhm.
Young people are actively embracing and wearing traditional Hanfu clothing in China.
Yeah.
And this is awesome. I saw some pictures of they're beautiful, these really beautiful
Wow.
flowing robes.
Yeah, amazing. I wish that our culture had such respect for the past. I feel
Yes.
like many cultures, older cultures around the world, older, civilizations do have more respect and tend to bring back things from the past
I
more than we do.
agree.
Yeah.
I feel like when something like this Hanfu comes back, it really does show respect for traditions,
Mhm.
for, maybe what you have a picture of your grandmother wearing. I love that idea to really
Yes.
respect history and show a love for it.
Yes, and so it would be good to be able to describe, aspects of traditional clothing in English. And this is not just for specifically Hanfu, but for anyone that wants to describe fabrics and the way fabrics look or feel. These are key vocabulary words that we're going to learn today, right?
Yes, because if you want to talk about this and someone says, "Oh, I'm unfamiliar. What is that? What is Hanfu clothing?" Then you would need some vocab. You could say that it's a very flowing fabric,
Yep.
lightweight flowing fabrics, and a wraparound robe. So that means
Mhm.
a fabric that wraps all the way around and often attaches.
Yes, and I love this word elaborate. So we can say it includes elaborate headpieces. Elaborate means what, Aubrey?
Yeah, so fancy, intricate. It definitely is going to be there, maybe multiple pieces or lots of different fabrics, or maybe feathers. I imagine
Wow.
I could see someone calling headpieces from the 20s in the
Oh,
US
yeah.
elaborate,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
You
Sure.
wear them to a party and there's big feathers and they're beautiful and really
Mhm.
impressive. Yeah, elaborate's a great adjective.
The 20s would have been a very cool time to be around. It would have been my top one of my top 3 choices. Really interesting time, kinda right before the Great Depression hit and people were just loving life, you know?
Yes, right?
Yeah.
That's what I wanna see, that flapper look come back
Yeah,
like
the flapper
Hanfu
look.
clothing has, right?
Mhm.
Because this is
Yeah.
interesting, when you see something experience like a fashion revival like this,
Yeah.
especially among young people, like you said, Lindsay, not only is it embracing our history, but it's going to dictate what trends become popular from there on out, right? Everything is sort of like a ripple, and
Yeah.
then what is popular in 10, 20 years will be affected, so that's kind of cool when we see these trends come back.
Yeah, we can call this a kind of a fashion revival, right?
Right.
And often there's a new flair on the old piece of clothing, right? Often it's not just wearing the exact same thing. There are changes that are happening that designers are putting to kind of a spin-off, a little bit of a spin-off.
Absolutely. Their
Mhm.
own take on it, right,
Yeah.
to make it a little unique, which is always fun to see these little changes, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Our country's a lot younger than China. Obviously, we don't
Mm.
have such a rich history. We don't have anything as old as, Hanfu. This, because Hanfu comprises all traditional clothing classifications of the Han Chinese,
Okay.
I mean, they have a recorded history of what, more than 3
Oh,
millennia?
wow.
So for us, it's like something came back from the 1980s, the 1990s, and we're thinking of this as a trend coming back. It's almost mind-blowing to think that a fashion trend could come back from so long ago.
Yeah, for sure. I love but is there anything that we can speak of in terms of revival? We talked at the top of the show about the baggy jeans look. The 90s was all about baggy jeans, the skaters, and other ways of wearing your clothing loose. I remember I used to cut, I'm sure you probably did this too, Aubrey. I used to cut my jeans at the bottom and try to fray them, even though they
Oh,
were brand
yes.
new. And
Yes, or peg, you remember pegging pants where you would, like, because
oh,
before they were skinny jeans, we would turn them into skinny jeans by, like,
right.
folding them up. So funny. I haven't
Yes.
seen that come back, but we have had some fashion revivals for sure. We've seen a lot of these 90s trends coming back, 80s trends.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll see someone wearing neon, like a neon on a t-shirt. I'm like, "Oh, 80s are coming back."
Yeah. Oh gosh, that's why I love skiing these days. These days, the neon ski suit, Aubrey, is back in style and it is awesome.
That's amazing. I actually love that. I need to go skiing just to see some
You
neon
It is
snowsuits.
great entertainment. You'll see a woman in like all neon pink. The whole
That is
thing is
awesome.
neon pink or neon yellow. It's just
Oh,
great.
that's
So
so funny.
so I mean, this is the connection skill for today, right? Each of us has a different culture and we're having fashion revivals from different eras, but how do we talk about it? So this is going to be our key takeaway and our key skill we're going to learn in the episode. Huh?
Yes, and we are going to share 4 terms that you will need for these conversations, right? To
Mhm.
talk about fashion revivals, trends that are coming back. And our first one is to say something is back in style, right?
Yes.
This talks it's describing something that was popular but then was not trendy for a while and now it's back.
Yeah, for example, it seems like Crocs are back in style. I see them everywhere.
Accurate.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
Or what
plaid
else?
button-up shirts are back in style, I think. They were all the rage when I was in high school, and this is a fun bonus, all the rage,
That's
which
a great
means
bonus.
extremely trendy, extremely popular.
Yes, write that down, listeners. Great bonus for today. All the rage. People love it. Then, of course, things go out of fashion. They become no longer trendy. Like skinny jeans are out of fashion, but I still wear them. And I'm the same way.
Totally,
Yeah.
right? Because it's funny how teenagers, right, they're wanting to be very trendy, at least in the US,
Yeah.
but once you're 30, 40, you don't
Yeah.
care quite as much about
Yeah.
being some people like myself,
Yeah.
so we might still wear skinny jeans even though they're out of fashion, and we might just
Yeah.
admit it and wear it as a badge of pride.
As long as you don't mind your kids coming home and saying, Mom, why are you wearing those jeans? Right.
Yeah, they might, right? I don't know. Kids, I think, expect their parents to be out of
They do.
style, out of fashion, right? They're like
They do.
they want to be trendy, but they don't care if their parents
Yeah, they don't want no, I feel the same way when I was a kid, I didn't expect or really want my mom to be in fashion, that would be kind of
No,
strange in my head at
right? I
least,
would almost prefer
yeah.
her to look out of fashion.
Oh, that's so funny. What else? Another sample? sentence?
Yeah, you might say, if you're trying on a dress, you might say, "Do you like this dress or do you think it's out of fashion?"
Okay.
Especially if you're pulling it from your closet, right? You've got
Oh, yeah.
decades of clothing maybe. You're like, "Ooh, is this out of fashion or can I still get away with wearing it?"
I love it. Out of fashion is the key word there. Okay, Aubrey, we've got another one. And this phrase applies to so much more than just fashion, which is why I'm excited for our listeners to learn this today.
Yes, this one's much more flexible, right? It's go full circle. So it's like after a long series of events or changes, then you're back to the same situation you started with. So you could definitely use it with fashion and say, or hairstyles. You could say we've really gone full circle with hairstyles.
Yeah.
Everything that was popular when my mom was young is trendy again. But
Yeah.
I love that you mentioned that, Lindsay. It's not just about fashion, right?
Well, I actually think we should do another episode just on this concept of full circle and explain all the scenarios that native speakers do say this because we say it quite a bit. And it's like you
Yes,
connect the dots and then you say this, and maybe there's a little laughter and recognition of what you've said. You've been on a journey, right?
absolutely. And
Yeah.
we use this a lot in business English as well. So be sure that
Yes.
you're following here
Mm,
and also on business English because that might
yes.
be an episode we
It might be over
plan
there.
for
Yeah.
the business English podcast.
All right. So open your search bar, everyone, and type in business English and hit the follow button over there so you don't miss that episode. All right. Good. Number 4. What's the fourth, Aubrey?
Bring back. So this is a way of saying make trendy again. Like
Mm,
I could say, I hope they bring back neon colors. I think
yeah.
they're so fun. It sounds like they are bringing back neon colors on the ski slopes.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes I wonder who's they? I mean, I guess
Yeah, who's
obviously
they?
it's fashion designers of the world, the New York Fashion Week, but how do they, who just wakes up one day and says, I want the 90s back?
Yeah,
Right. And
it's a
then
good
everyone
question.
follows. Who is they? Right.
Yeah, often I feel with slang, I feel like they as teenagers, right? Adopting
Right.
lingo, but with trends, yeah, it's a lot of it is probably the fashion world
Right.
dictating what's
Right.
trendy.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. And then another sample sentence, teenagers are bringing back 90s trends. Okay, Aubrey, should we dive right into a role play?
Let's
Shall
do
we
it.
do it?
You and I are discussing current fashion trends in this. I'll start us out.
Okay.
Do you think these shoes are out of fashion? They're so comfortable, but maybe a bit outdated.
Oh no, I think those are back in style. It's hard to keep up these days, but I feel like shoes always go full circle.
I think you're right. Well, if they're not trendy, I say bring them back.
I don't usually pay attention to trends that are all the rage. I just want to be comfortable.
That's so me. I'm like, I don't care if
Yeah.
it's trendy. I just want to be comfortable.
Yeah. Or I think for me, I actually bought a do you know Queer Eye, the show Queer Eye?
Yes,
So
love it.
Tan on Queer Eye?
Yes.
He's my favorite. He's fantastic. I
That's
love him
awesome.
so much. I bought one of his courses. I think it was on Coursera or one of the other course platforms on fashion, actually.
Oh, that's
And one
awesome.
of the things that he teaches in this course is get your stable pieces, your classics, and build
Yes.
your whole wardrobe around your classics. So a good leather jacket, a really nice high end pair of jeans that are still comfortable, white shirts, like the classics, right?
That's good advice,
Yeah.
right? And then you can
Mhm.
build from there if you wanna accessorize.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, I recommend Tan's
That's
fashion advice. He's
nice.
fantastic. So
He definitely knows more than we do.
oh, he's great. All right. So should we go back through this?
Yes, I started with, "Do you think these shoes are out of fashion?" So I've
Mhm.
pulled a pair of shoes from my closet. I'm like, "Do you think I could still wear these, or are
Yeah.
they too outdated?"
Yeah, no, that's good. And then I said, "No, I think those are back in style. It's hard to keep up these days, but I feel like shoes always go full circle. One of the many things that always goes full circle."
It's so true, right? Some things like Converse, I feel like never went out of style, but some shoes do and then come back, like Doc Martens or Crocs. So yeah,
Yeah.
back in style definitely implies that they were out of style for a while. They weren't trendy, but now they're back.
Yeah, and the worst is when there's a trend and you want to be able to wear it because you think it's cute, but you just can't, for whatever reason, fit your body into it. I used to love Converse. I used to want so badly to wear Converse when I lived in New York, and I tried, but I created lots of problems with my feet because they're
Oh,
so
no.
narrow. Converse are
Right.
super narrow.
Your feet are too wide.
I just couldn't wear Converse after that, but I was heartbroken. Yeah.
Oh, bummer. Converse are really narrow, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, it's true. All right. And then you said, Aubrey, I think you're right. Well, if they're not trendy, I say bring them back. Yes.
Yeah, so this is kind of funny, right? This is who's they, who's them,
Who's
whoever
they?
they are, I want them to bring this back.
Yeah, for sure. What else? What else?
And then you said, I usually don't pay attention to trends that are all the rage. This was our bonus, meaning extremely popular and trendy, would say it's all the rage.
Yeah, but if we just come away with just that phrase today, we will have really gained some natural native English to use right away. Right, Aubrey?
Absolutely, right? This is so vital. It's such a great connection skill, sharing and teaching others about, your culture and trends that have come and gone. What a fun way to connect in English.
Yeah, what's our takeaway? Anything else? I mean, that's really it, right, Aubrey? It's about that connection moment, and anytime you find a moment where people are experiencing the same thing as you, whether it's fashion or lifestyle, trends, things like that, go into that, right? Exploit that a little
Absolutely.
bit. Yeah.
Spark a conversation, chat about it. It's interesting. Everyone's interested about these trends that are coming and going. And if you, whoever you're talking to, if you come from a different culture, right, maybe you are interested in Hanfu clothing or you've worn it before, whoever you're talking to will be interested in these cultural differences. So use it to connect.
I love it. Good stuff, Aubrey. Well, you have a nice day. I'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. You too. Bye
All right.
bye.
Bye bye.